How is everybody doing tonight? Tell you, what a weekend for professional wrestling. You had, Ring Gladiators Friday night, Saturday, the day was stacked. You had, NCW's Kids Day show out there. And then you had Limitless. Crunch Time, and you also had Ring of Honor, Death Before Dishonor. All great shows, all with some great local legends. All sorts of names were there. I mean, I'm talking Danny Garcia, Wheeler Yuta, Ted Goods, you name it, they were there. Gresham, all sorts of great people. But there was also some great people and great matches at Limitless out in Yarmouth, Maine for Crunch Time. And we're going to talk about those great matches. Yes, Bobby Orlando Jr. is in the house. We'll let him do a little vape. We'll do a little vape. Why not? So, kicking things off, out came now let me just mind you, we'll just talk about it really, really quick. There was, because of that Ring of Honor show, a little bit of change up. And, well, J.D. Drake got pulled from the card. Now, I know it's unfair. It kind of stinks. It happens, though. It happens. He's under contract with AEW, whatever, so they pulled him. This kind of changed things up. I know everybody was looking for the big Boofer match against J.D. Drake, and it didn't happen. Didn't happen. It will happen, but it didn't happen. So, out comes Aaron Rook talking about why he should, face 5 losers when he can just face 1 after, Desmond Cole came out. So, they decided to have the qualifying match be Desmond Cole, Big Booper versus the dime piece Aaron Rook. One of the members of the Trios Art with Ava Everett and Ricky Smokes. These people are pretty good, I have to say. They've been kind of killing it all throughout New England, and, they do the same here in Limitless. But there seems to be some dissension among the ranks, and, there is some kind of tension within. But let's talk about Desmond Cole for a second. Big Boofer. This guy just lights up the arena. I mean, he was dancing. He's very charismatic, but he just brings a whole new level of energy to Limitless, and it's great. I mean, not that, like Limitless didn't already have enough of great energy. Limitless Wrestling, is one of the, I think, best promotions in New England. I mean, you got them, Beyond, Chaotic, you can keep going, but I really like Limitless. They've had a lot of great talent, and, every show really gets better and better, in my opinion. You can check it out on IWTV if you can't get up to Main Live. It is good. There's a lot of great wrestling. Randy Carver Jr. does an amazing job. But, and bringing people in, bringing new people in. And Desmond Cole, somebody you kind of knew. We saw him in the last show. We've seen him now again. And this kid, like I said, he just, ceases to amaze. I have a bunch of clips up on the YouTube, and there'll be more going up and on Twitter of all this Desmond Cole's action. But, like I say, it was a really high-flying match. Aaron Rook did try, and he tried with his best, but he just could not pull off the victory for Art there, and did not qualify for Vacation Land Cup 22. He is out. Desmond Cole is in and moving on. And, my money might be on him to make it. I mean, he's super over right now and just running it. Just running it. And then came on the next match. The next match was the match that Aaron Rook was supposed to be in. And that was the 6-way match. And you had Rip Bison, Bobby Orlando with Junior, Brad Cashew with Dean Fumacola. You also had somebody else coming in, Big Bacon, Brad Hollister, kind of new to Limitless. This dude was great, very over. We'll talk a little bit about him. BRG, one part half of Prestigious, and Mortar. Mortar brings another, these kids some of these are students, some of these are great. You have just a whole mix of talent in this one match. Big Bacon, though, super over. He came in and the crowd just went wild. I mean, they went nuts. They were really over for him. They were over for everybody. I mean, well, no. I can't say it for everybody. They do not like Brad Cashew or the Dean Fumacola very much in Maine. They do not like him at all, actually. They boo him every time, and we'll get into it and what happened with Bobby Orlando Jr. But Bobby Orlando himself was very much over. He did great work out there. And, he's always exciting to see, whether you see him in tag action with, Bryce Donovan and the Shook Crew, or you see him, solo. Speaking of Shook Crew and all of that, you got somebody coming to Maine next time, and it's going to be, the Acclaimed and Platinum Max. And as you know, he was one of the original Shook Crew members. You can check out a lot of their stuff on YouTube. Pretty cool. They have some diss tracks and stuff. This is a great, really high, exciting match. A lot of flying, actually. Where I was sitting, the bodies just kept coming, and dives just kept going one after another. Rip Bison, then Brad, and then this one, and then that one. And Morta was flying, and everybody was flying. Everybody really showed up and showed out for this one matchup, and everybody wanted a spot. At one point, there was an altercation between Bobby Orlando and Dean Fumacola, and he did take Bobby Orlando Jr. and ran out of the arena with him. Something about him not being, up to university rules, and they got rid of him. Not sure. But it was Rip Bison taking the victory, and Rip will be moving on to the Vacationland Cup. So, there's another big name being added. Rip doing a lot of great things in the industry right now. You can see him in Grindr. You can even see him on Wrestling Open. Him and Perry Von Vicious actually been on there. So you can check them out as well there. And you'll see now that he's moving on. Then we had, another great matchup. And another Art member. Ava Everett. She takes on the indie wrestling legend, Hall of Famer, Lufisto. And, these two just, they're great. They're great. They work great together. I thought, anyways. I'm a big fan of Ava Everett. I think she's very, very talented. She's great in New England, whether she plays, the baby face that she does in NCW where the kids are all over her. She's, there's this miserable soul that she plays out in Limitless. And you could tell it even on the, in the intermission when they're out there selling merch. She's still, in character, like, blah, don't look at me like that. Don't talk to me. I don't really want to take your photo. Giving you facial expressions. She does some of the best character work I've ever seen in wrestling. That's just that, though. She's also very talented in the ring. She can wrestle very good. With that being said, Lufisto speaks for herself. Out of Canada, she's great. Last time we saw her face Jody Threat, and, they gave a great battle. This was a war. A lot of great moves. You could see even Ava Everett would have cut her off the edge of the apron onto the outside of the arena. Just devastating maneuvers. And, it just really was, a tremendous matchup. But at the end, it was Lufisto getting the victory. And again, another member of Art not winning. I don't know if they're just on a losing streak. We'll have to see what happens with Ricky later. But, 0-2 for Art as of now. Speaking of also women's matches and great matchups, we also had Russian Dynamite, Masha Slamovich versus Delmy XO in a Russian strap match or a Russian chain match, I think it was. It wasn't a strap, it was a chain. And, both women were tied one arm each to the chain, and they just beat the hell out of each other, I'll be honest. They went nuts. They went nuts on each other. They were fighting. A lot of vicious attacks from Masha. She ended up opening Delmy up on the head, right across the forehead. Blood was just gushing. It must have been pretty deep, too, because it was like a dark crimson. It wasn't even like that, like kind of like pinkish blood, just on the top. It was dark. And, you could see at one point Masha just didn't care. She grabs it and just kind of smears it on her own forehead. But something in Delmy awoken. And this new Delmy, let me just tell you, is amazing. She's darker. She's more aggressive. I mean, yeah, she was great with, Ashley Boxy Stars tag teams, singing along, great with the crowd, you know, drinking the beers, doing whatever things was. But now she's just this, real dark character, just a real. I feel like she's really finally coming to her own and really, progressed. And this, I don't know, there's something awoke inside her, and she just went full on crazy. I mean, you could just tell she just did not care anymore. She wanted to win, and she just used that chain as the most deadliest weapon ever. And she choked Masha completely out with it till one point that it was over. That it had to be stopped by referee. Masha was out. Delmy was your winner, and just a vicious win, like I said, and just really showing the dominance that she can possess and how good she has gotten over the years and just how good she is. And like I said, you've seen her in tag action, but to see her this good in solo action, it's great. And hopefully we see more of her in Limitless. I mean, I know we will, but more of her in this light. You also had another trios match going on. You had the Circus Ninjas, Midas Black, and Jay Lyons, along with Ninja Cataldo there. And they were going against an MSP with Dirty Dango. And this was pretty good. They were calling themselves Vibing Dirty. Ooh, nice name. I wonder which one of them came up with that. I wonder if it was like Aggro, Danger Kid, or actually Dango that came up with that. Because Rich called it. He was like collectively known as Vibing Dirty. And like I said, like, the fans kind of went wild. Great matchup. They're all seasoned vets in the tag game, and Dirty Dango, he's very good. Maine favorite. Everybody loves him. He's from Maine. Every time they bring him. MSP's the same thing. They had a tough loss last year against Prestigious, and when they came back as the Vibe, they've been nothing but, just on fire. Really opening up. I mean, yes, I know they lost that key match against Garcia and Blackwood that would have changed the scope of the Limitless Tag Team Division forever, but they're slowly starting to, show what they can do, and they want, I think, who knows now? I mean, Blackwood and Garcia are gone. Maybe Randy will give a second thought or chance to this. I don't know. But this trios match, like I said, was great. And MSP together, it's just really good. And they worked great with Dango. Dango's a great wrestler. He might not have got a fair shake in WWE. Maybe some say he did. I don't know. I mean, I wasn't a personal fan of the gimmick as much as I was as him actually wrestling. But see him, in his kind of like non-WWE state as Dirty Dango, he's in his own, he's on his own, he's kind of making up his own creative, and I like it. I like it a lot. And, like I said, he's very good. They actually had, he actually threw a seminar earlier on that day. I didn't go to it myself personally, but I heard that it was very good. Like I said, he's a wrestling legend. He's good around here. And one of the main favorites. But Circus Ninjas, like I said, they're really good. And, Ringleader Midas and Jay Lyons both got a lot of tricks up their sleeve. And they pulled out every which one of them, even the famed hoop trick. Gotta love it again. Got dived at. Sat at the best spot. The dive just kept coming. And, like I said, though, and at one point, I don't know, everything was just kind of chaotic. And Jay Lyons scooped the pin and grabbed the victory. And it was the Circus Ninjas picking that up, which left Dirty Dango, I think, a little sour because all of a sudden he attacked both, Danger Kid and Aggro and just gave everybody the finger, gave, the camera the finger. You heard the Dirty Dango song. And he walked out of there. And that was it. That's Dirty Dango. He was done. No more vibing Dirty all over. So I don't know if he turned bad, if he's whatever. I mean, like I said, he was pretty much way over in Maine. People loved him. Not so much anymore. So we got to kind of see how that goes. I saw some chitter-chatter from MSP about it on Twitter. You could probably see it yourself. They were just saying how it was a good name and how could this happen. But overall, very good matchup, like I said. And then one of the matches that came out, and this was one of the matches I went all the way there for. And for the first time, the Let's Wrestle Championship was on the line. That's right, the reigning defending champion, Mac Daniels. He had BRG alongside with him. Came out to face once friend, now foe, world-class Channing Thomas. And let me just tell you, this has been great storytelling from Limitless. You had the emergence of Prestigious last year. I believe we had an interview with John Albert about it. He was saying how he had something planned. And then, boom, you had BRG and Shannon Thomas, the Prestige, teaming up with Mac Daniels, forming Prestigious. And, they were a very dominant trio. So they almost put MSP out for good. MSP did come back, no longer the mainstay posse that we all knew, but they were MSP the vibe. And I still haven't seen Alexander Lee since. Nobody knows where he is. Not sure if they put him in retirement. These people were vicious. They attacked Davey Ann. They went after all sorts of people in the roster. Even Becker. They went after everybody. And then they started to have some dissensions among the ranks in their camp as well. It led to one thing to another. And meanwhile, Mac Daniels capturing the Let's Wrestle title made everybody a little bit kind of, whose boy really is he? John Alba's boy. Why aren't we getting title shots? I don't know. But it was Channing Thomas that got turned on by BRG and Mac Daniels. And at the last show, we saw Channing Thomas come in and pile drive Mac Daniels. And then this match, was announced. And like I said, great matchup. This is great storytelling. BRG, kind of came along with Mac Daniels. After losing his matchup. And basically it was Mac Daniels' fault, too, that he lost. But, he lost his matchup. And, he's still kind of wary about all the... John Alba's nowhere to be found. I don't know what's going on. I think he has some health issues, or he might be on... Well, at one point, I know he did have some health issues. And then he was on tour or doing something with another podcast. And, I don't know, he's doing StarCast, which is awesome. Doing a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know. He wasn't in Maine. I think he's going to be there for the next show. He mentioned something on Twitter. I looked at that as well. But... BRG, holding the corner down as best as he could for Channing Thomas. And, that's what happened, though. Not for Channing, for Mac Daniels, rather. And that's what happened, though. BRG in the corner, BRG's going to follow what he wants to do. He's not really that loyal. Not loyal at all, in my opinion. But, this was a great classic matchup. Both of them are fierce competitors. World-class Channing Thomas, one of the best professional wrestlers out there. This guy kills it each and every time. You can catch him on Beyond every Thursday, Wrestling Open. You can catch him in NCW. He's holding the world title. You can catch him, at Top Rope and all the other great New England promotions, NEW, everywhere. But, he's really now is breaking in as world-class at Limitless Wrestling. I did not see, though, Sidney Bacabella by his side. Hopefully we do, though. That will be great. But right now, the fans love him. Unlike at other locations where they kind of boo him. So, it is nice to see that. This guy, though, I'm telling you, he gave it his all. Mac Daniels, great competitor, good champion. But, in my opinion, I think Channing Thomas is a better wrestler overall. Has more experience. He's been around a little bit longer. Mac Daniels still kind of new to the game. But one thing led to another in any which way. The ref got knocked out, and, BRG had to make a choice. Mac Daniels wanted him to hit the belt, hit Channing Thomas with the belt. And, BRG was hesitant. He was like, if you want this, you do it. Do it yourself. Do it yourself. And Mac just kept pushing him. No, you do it. You got to do it, And BRG is nobody's, errand boy. He can hold his own. He's held gold before. He's held the world title in NCW. He's held other, titles elsewhere. He's held the victorious BRG title. He's got some, prestige behind him, no pun intended. And he was like, nah, and he turned around and hit Mac Daniels. Knocked him out. Another ref, that saw the whole thing, called the match. disqualification by, Shannon's disqualified. Now, Shannon's mad. BRG, what the hell are you doing? Why you do it? Oh, my God. Like, why, it cost me the match. Meanwhile, we got some interesting words, though, from Mr. Randy Carver Jr. He actually hopped on the mic. He said, he doesn't usually interject. But he said, this one, BRG, you were 1 second. You could have won your match if it wasn't for Mac Daniels. I think he said something to the extent of, Shannon, we all know you were one super kick away from being the new Let's Wrestle champion. And, what he said was, there's one more spot left, and it'll be a triple threat, BRG versus Channing Thomas versus Mac Daniels for, the final Vacation Land Cup spot in the next show, which is Vacation Land Cup. They'll have that spot there. So that will be their match, and they'll sort things out the old-fashioned way. Should be fun. I'm looking forward to this match. Like I said on Twitter, I saw something about Alba. See you guys then, or some see y'all then. That would be great if Alba's there. Like I said, this is long-term storytelling. I think this is really going to be just even further and make this even deeper than it already is. Really going to look forward to this. Then we got to see the final member of Art, Ricky Smokes, against a newcomer to Limitless, and I was very excited for this one. Mojabari, Kid Chocolate. This kid was on fire. He's from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Same place as Bret Hart. He actually did like the little Bret Hart like arm gesture. It was kind of funny. The crowd kind of laughed. But, this kid lit it up. He was very, he was a great wrestler. He could wrestle. And Ricky being, kind of new in the game as well as a student, he could still, he's a good wrestler. He wrestles very technically sound. This was a very technically sound wrestling match between the two of them. And I thought, it was a great showcase of both Ricky and, Mojabari's skills. And, I'm glad that they brought Kid Chocolate into Limitless. I think it's a great place to be. Not only that, I like seeing him there. He's a very exciting wrestler, and he's going to bring a new level to Limitless, just the same way as Desmond Cole has, and other wrestlers that, Randy Carver Jr. keeps bringing in for shows. I like it. I like it a lot. Please come back. But it was Ricky Smokes getting the victory. And, he's the only member of Art that didn't lose. He's not a loser. If you're listening to this, Ricky Smokes, you're not a loser. You're a winner. You won your match. That's great. I've been saying this for a while. Ricky is probably the best asset in Art. And this just proves my point in theory. But great matchup, and hopefully we see more, like I said, of Mojabari Kid Chocolate. And that brought us to the main event of the evening. We saw it, last time. Big Beef. He, called them out. He said, I want, the winner of the Alec Price Lynch Dorado match. And it was Alec Price that beat Lynch, and it was Alec Price that defended against, Big Beef. Both of these guys came in with this big fight feel. It felt like, a Vegas fight. They stood there. They stared each other down. The energy was intense. I mean, wild energy. And, it got into a little physical shoving match, and all of a sudden, Beef clotheslined him. And that was it. It was on. Ding, ding. And these two just kept going at it all night. And it wasn't a short main event at all. I mean, this was a great wrestling match. It kept going back and forth. I really didn't know who was gonna win and how it was gonna happen. There was many times I thought it was gonna be Alec Price. Then I thought it was gonna be Big Beef. These people were hitting finishes. They were knocking each other out. They were giving it their all, everything they have. This is what Limitless Wrestling is all about. There is no limit to how far you'll go to, keep that title or to take that title. It was amazing. And then the energy in there, in the arena was just, incredible. The fans were all into it. Everybody was at the edge of their seat. Well, we see a new champ. You had people screaming Big Beef. You had people screaming for Alec Price. It was probably split down the middle of who you wanted to see win this thing, and it was tremendous. In the end, it was Alec Price beating Big Beef and retaining the limitless world title. And, before we could all kind of celebrate, he got on the mic. He said, what's my name, Alec? And everybody was like, Alec Price. I don't know if he thought he was like Jake something or something. He kind of says that was my name, something. But anyways, he got everybody's attention, and he talked about how good Beef is, and how he'll be the next thing. And then he just he said, if you want to be honest though, you're not on my level, and you won't be. And you can see Beef just kind of just turn from feeling some kind of sincere praise to just furious, and he just tried to lunge at him, and he just went, and then a lot of chaos happened in the ring, and the lights went out, and when they came back, it was an Alec Price standing face to face, with the returning Ace Romero, AC baby, and the fans went wild. They love this guy. Outside of other places, he might be part of the unit, run around with those guys, but up here in Maine, he was doing a little bit of the heel work with JT Dunn, and he was starting to go that direction. I don't know. And then we didn't see him, and then he came back, and let me just tell you, the fans were all over it. Alec Price, not impressed. He was like, I beat your fat ass twice, and I'll do it again if I have to, something to that extent. And, they just, AC didn't say much. He just stared him down, and like I said, he wants a piece of that. I don't know if he's going to be in the Vacation Land Cup. I don't know what's going to happen with Ace Romero. I don't know if he's getting a title shot at Vacation Land Cup. That could happen. A lot of things can happen. Anything can happen in Limitless Maine. What a night it was, though. What a show. It just keeps getting better and better. I don't know how you do it, Randy Carver Jr. I just don't know. But like I said, Limitless, one of my favorite promotions. You can check it out if you can't get there live in Yarmouth, Maine, or in the Let's Wrestle shows a little bit further out. Check it out on IWTV. Like I said, great promotion. A lot of great matches. They've had a lot of great talent, even starting with MJF and other TV superstars you watch now. But yeah, keep doing it. I thank you, everybody, for tuning in tonight. Please, if you can, hit the like button. Share with your friends if you want. Do whatever you like, and have yourself a great night. Versace Stoner out.